Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. So, I did get a new microphone, so hopefully my voice sounds a bit better. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and get us on to Act 1. Up until now, we've just been doing the pre-game stuff and the kind of tutorial area, but this should take us into the main game.
The helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time.
Hells. I can't believe I'm in one piece.
And so it begins. Alright. So from here on out, we are officially in the game of Baldur's Gate 3. This is where things start to really kick off. Let me go ahead and I'll show you the sort of level up process in the game and how it kind of works and what kind of choices I'm going to be making for it. So, this is the level up screen for Baldur's Gate 3, and the process of leveling up is very similar to the D&D 5th edition. The abilities are a bit different. For example, with Bard, you get some more first level spell slots. However, you also get Jack of all trades, which lets you add half of your proficiency bonus, which in early access is always going to be 1, just because we only go up to level 5. However, Song of Rest is pretty cool. It lets you, as an action, take a short rest, which in 5th edition would be absolutely ridiculous. We do get a new spell, and I'll go ahead and pick that. I went ahead and picked Bane for our spell. You can also replace one of the spells we already know, but I kind of like what we have right now, and there's nothing else I would rather take with it. And the ones that I do are a wizard that we get later. They'll be able to learn them without any problems, and I kind of want them to have the spells rather than us, just because our spell slots are limited, or our spell choices are limited, and theirs aren't. Well, let's keep going. We can hear some horns off in the distance, which probably isn't good for our character. As we kind of saw in that cutscene, looks like some goblins are on their way out to hunt us down, coming after this big ship. I mean, I can't blame them. Let's not make any enemies. Let's just wake her up. I don't want to steal her stuff.
You're alive. I'm alive. How is this possible?
Well, perhaps it's some dramatically timed divine intervention.
The divine tend to keep their interventions close to the chest. Though, I suppose it's not impossible.
Any idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
Very, very true. Like I can just ditch her and leave. Well, what happened to our Gith friend?
You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us.
Well, do you want to stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Ah, yes, the typical we are D&D adventurers, let us stick together.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that.
Sure.
Lead the way.
No biggie. We got a friend now. And she also gets to level up. So Shadowheart here is a trickster cleric. They get some pretty cool features. They get more spell slots. They get channel divinity, which is pretty cool. They can basically make undead terrified and run away. They also get this right here, which is a really cool ability. So that's kind of interesting. The Invoke Duplicity on here works a lot differently than how it does in normal 5th edition. Now, if basically the illusion and the attacker are next to the enemy, you get advantage on the attack roll against them, so that's a lot more useful than I thought it was. But they also get to prepare some spells. Unlike how our bard is, they actually just have access to all of their class's spells, and they just switch them out. I think that's how I want our spells to be here with Shadowheart. So we're kind of heavy on concentration, which means that we can only have one concentration spell at a time. But I think these are pretty good ones. Then we have Guiding Bolt, which is the most damage for a first level spell, actually. And then Healing Word again, just because ranged healing is pretty good. Shield of Faith gives +2 to armor class to someone you put it on. Command, it has a bunch of different options that you can use, and it's all pretty good. And then Bless, it gives you +1d4 to attack rolls and saving throws, and Bane I already gave to our Bard before, which gives them a -4 to attack rolls and saving throws. Sadly, Bards don't get access to Bless, so I put it on her.
No one back home will ever believe this.
But let's take a
Never wanted
further
to
look
miss
up this
path.
beach. That sound is absolutely terrifying. I don't know if it's picking up well with the recording and how I have my audio set, but it's like really bass heavy and very menacing, which I think is kind of the
Put
point.
up a fight by the looks of it. Not that it mattered in the end.
Alright, I was just sorting our inventory around because we started getting
As my feet
encumbered.
can carry me.
So, this fish and stuff that we're picking up, all of this
Fresh water.
is,
There must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
like all this kind of food and stuff, you use it whenever you're resting. It's kind of like just a resource to keep you from just constantly using the long rests, which it just kind of keeps you from spamming long rests, which you can just purchase them, but still. So it kind of looks like some people were trying to head towards Baldur's Gate and get out of this place. I'm really starting to wonder if that noise is either coming from the goblins' camp that we saw, or if it's from the ship, kind of creaking and aching. Ah, and these are kind of like your fast travel points in the game. You can just use these to pull up the map and teleport around. We don't have any others, so we'll just leave that here for now.
Won't get that open easily. Maybe there's another entrance.
Probably. I really like this whole kind of story so far, and how the like illithid powers kind of grow with your character as you use them. There's no downsides to them really at the moment,
More
but
of those wretched things.
I suspect in the future there's probably going to be some kind of downside to just using
Breathe deep
mind control
and move.
abilities of a mind flare tadpole in your eye.
If everyone else minds their business, I'll be fine.
So we got a couple of these guys. See if we can take them
Mind my
out
step.
quiet like we did before on the
What's
Nautiloid.
next? Unseen as I was taught. What comes now?
Make sure Shadowheart's in here with us. But yeah, I kind of look forward to seeing how, whenever the game's fully released, what the kind of consequences are to using them. Those kind of abilities. I just unequip that. Okay. Let's just go ahead and throw out one of these, I think.
Let's make this quick.
Oh, where are you going? Alright, and they're
Vicious
surprised.
Best keep some distance, or this'll be a short fight.
Best be on my way.
Best be on my way, just walking out of here. So yeah, let's just go ahead and throw out, Ooh, we can't quite get all of them. Let's just go ahead and shoot them with a crossbow, I think.
Think you can take me on?
Critical hit, very nice. Oh, I should have buffed first and then done that. But oh well. Shadowheart can probably take care of these guys. Unless they pass. Luckily they're surprised, so they're just gonna skip their turns. Then we'll give Bardic Inspiration to Shadowheart. And then
These
move on
boots
up
have
over
seen
here.
everything.
And I want to make sure it asks me before it does any of this, because I just, you know, I don't want them to use it without me actually needing it. Yeah, so if you set it to asking you, it'll tell you what you rolled, and so you know if you need to add that to it or not, which is how it should work. But if you leave that off, it'll just automatically use your Bardic Inspiration, or anything really that uses up your reaction. It'll just automatically use it. So if you ever play this game, make sure that you set that to ask. But yeah, we don't need to use it. And then I think Shadowheart is down here and in the most trouble, so we'll just give her Shield of Faith. Probably don't need it, but just to be safe. Probably better to take out this one, I think.
Can't give up. Not now.
And that moves us straight over to this turn. And then we can do this. Or not. So you can shove people in this game, kind of like I did before. You can shove people and kind of knock them away so you can run back.
What path lies before me?
They missed. Very nice. It doesn't look like it was thanks to our bonus to AC, but
Well, perhaps our survival isn't
So-
such a distant prospect.
the Shield of Faith might have just been wasted, but it's not that big of a deal. Very nice. Some good stuff. An onion. Need one of them. See what else is around here. More throwables, more throwables, speed potions. Man, you get a lot of speed potions, which are pretty rare in normal 5th edition, and you get a lot of healing potions all over the place. So they are stocking you up a lot in this game. Let's head this way. Depending on which way you go, you get a different companion first. We'll just go pick up this companion.
Anything of use?
More thieves' tools, always nice. Wonder if we can
A couple turns should do it.
pick this lock. Ooh, we have guidance. That's very nice. Okay, yeah, we can literally not fail this. Let's see what we got. Very nice. I think I'll go ahead and put that on. I hate how helmets look in most games like this, so I'm just gonna turn the visual off on it. So here is our next companion we get.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Absolutely. Stand back.
There. Can you see it?
No. Not really. Oh, that.
Just a dumb boar. You're relieved until you see the flash of a dagger.
Okay. If this is a robbery, you're off to a bad start, friend.
I just need information. I saw you scuttling about on the ship. You're in league with them, aren't you? Those tentacle... Ah!
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light. The fear.
What was that? What's going on?
Put that knife away, and I will tell you everything, I promise.
I'm not an idiot. It has to be those tentacled monsters. Something they did. They took you too. I saw it during whatever just happened. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
Well, apology accepted. I guess if the roles were reversed, I'd probably end up doing the same thing. Although, I don't think we would.
A kindred spirit. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
Well, I'll just introduce myself. No need to tell them my entire life story.
A pleasure. So, do you know anything about these worms?
Well, probably just the most important thing is that they're going to be turning us into, mind flayers.
Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time.
Well, you should travel with me. Our odds are probably better together.
You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
Very well. We've got another friend and another level up.
Everything looks new.
So, Astarion here is a rogue, meaning that he's going to be sneaking about, picking locks, doing sneak attack damage, and they do get cunning action, which basically means it's a bonus action. They can dash or disengage. Pretty useful. They don't get too much at level 2. At 3rd level, they get their subclass like most.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Alright, now, up here, there's usually a fight. Usually you come across... Oh, that's strange. Usually this Mind Flayer has people with him. Now, from what I remember, talking with him isn't exactly the best idea.
You approach the dying monster. This is the thing that abducted you. You could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel compassion. Compassion.
No. I should be furious, shouldn't I?
Yes, you feel hate. And you deserve to be punished for it. You should be whipped, made to bow before this creature in shame. It's possessing your mind, forcing you to love it, but then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere.
You can try this. We pass, just barely. I think if we fail that, we end up dying.
Your minds fuse, lusting for something that is gone. But then its grip claws back with a vengeance, a vice locking your mind into obedience. It needs sustenance to survive, and with your very body, you can provide.
No. Let's resist. I don't feel like dying. Whew. I don't feel like dying today.
The monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
Well, I definitely think we shouldn't just let it stay here. That's probably the best bet, because otherwise it's just gonna...
Monster. Death is too good for it.
Exactly. It is just gonna find more people to use and get out of here and be a problem later. That's probably my bet. Used to, there would be like a group of fishermen that it had abducted and they try and pull it out. And they try and fight you because they think that you're trying to kill a child, is how they see it.
Dead goblins over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
And I think up here we get our next companion as well.
You're alive. That's unexpected. Last I saw you, you were lying in a crucible's worth of blood. An intellect devourer nibbling at your ear. Glad to see my eyes deceive me. I'm Gale. Well met.
Well met. I am assuming that you are also on the ship.
Very same. A traumatizing experience, if an instructive one.
By trauma, I suppose you mean the thing they put in my eye?
Yes. The ocular penetration by an illithid tadpole, which will end with our souls being snuffed like strands of weave caught in dead magic. Not to mention, you're staring at me like a Rashimi at a blackboard. You're no wizard, are you?
Why do you ask?
Because I need one, but it'll have to wait. The primary need now is a healer. I take it you recall the insertion of the parasite?
Vividly. I don't think I'm going to forget that.
Are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it'll turn us into mind flayers? A process known as ceremorphosis? It is to be avoided. I assume you're no accomplished healer either. Powerful cleric, maybe?
No, but I'm an awfully good poet.
How splendid. Perhaps you can look over some of my own verse. At a more opportune moment, however.
Oh.
You and I are in a whole lot of trouble. We need help, and I'm not sure where we'll find it in this wilderness.
I thought he was gonna...
How about we embark on the quest for a healer together?
I thought he was just gonna pull out and be sarcastic about me saying that I'm a bard. Because that's how Lysel reacted too, but... I thought he was just gonna be, well, how splendid. You can write about our deaths, I suppose.
Most excellent. Then, without further ado, let's be off. Besides, looks like you keep some interesting company. A woman with shadows for eyes, deep as the dark lake. Pleasure, madam.
Is it indeed? We'll see.
Alright. Now,
Quite ready for you.
Gale is the character I was talking about in our character creation episode. So, Gale is the wizard that we get access to. I'm going to be going with Evocation for his subclass. And what this does is it makes Evocation spells cost less to learn from spell scrolls. And then it allows us to ignore our allies whenever we do an AoE area of effect spell. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some different spells on here and then show you what those do. Alright, and I think that's how we're going to have our spells. So we get two new ones when we level up. What I'm picking are Burning Hands, which is an AoE fire damage spell. It's okay, it's alright. We'll get some better ones later on. And then Featherfall, just making our entire party immune to fall damage in case there's, you know, some kind of shortcut, or in case we're fighting near a cliff and we think our enemies are going to shove us off. And I moved his spells around. He comes with some other spells that he already knows. And then we prepare spells, kind of like how the cleric does, and these are the ones that we're going to be keeping. And also similar to the cleric, we can change them out from time to time. And the last thing that I want to do on this episode is get our last companion for now. And actually, before we do that... Alright. I just want to make sure that Historian goes back to camp before we do this.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
You again. Get rid of them.
So it's kind of interesting.
Holy hells. Under elf.
Playtime, I miss.
Okay, so yeah. They saw us as a drow, and so they are immediately hostile. Like I said in our character creation video, there's just the stigma of drow that we are just evil. And so I'm going to try and make sure we don't have to kill these people, but no guarantee. I mean, technically, I guess there is. Very nice.
Demaze.
Come, Aimessa. Now.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Yeah, what I was going to say is it's very interesting that she's using these psychic abilities when no one else is really developing their powers yet. And I think that's because she's a Githyanki, who already have some kind of like natural psionic abilities. Now, let's not, be snarky, but just wait till they're out of earshot and I'll get you down. While they're standing right there.
Observe and
Enough
listen.
dawdling. Get me
You'll hear
down.
goblins before you see them.
All
The
right.
tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
She's being pretty demanding and snarky, but that's just kind of how her personality is. Like I said, she's just naturally going to try and assume a commander role, and unless we kind of, enforce that position, she's just gonna try and take over. So, and what exactly is a creche?
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter. Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Gaith tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
And a simple thank you wouldn't go amiss.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks.
Alright, well, I guess let's journey together and find this creche.
You have made an ally from Creche Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel.
I'll trust your judgment, but I won't trust her. Not until I've gotten the measure of her.
You've a sharp tongue, elf. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you.
Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
Sounds like a plan. So, let's go ahead and get
Enough
Lae'zel.
waiting. I crave blood.
Easy now. Let's go ahead and get Lae'zel leveled up. As a fighter, she doesn't get much at level 2. She gets Action Surge, which is probably the best ability in all of D&D, and probably this game as well, just being able to take an extra action. Pretty good. A lot better when you have access to multi-classing.
Have a lot on my mind.
But with that
And,
being said,
In it,
this is
these boots have seen everything.
going to be our party for now. Unfortunately, this is all I have time for this episode, but we won't be getting that Warlock companion I mentioned before just yet. There's something I want to do before then. I plan on using at least Lae'zel and Gale for the foreseeable future, and then probably take out Shadowheart and replace them with the Warlock that we get. I might keep Shadowheart, depends, unless I change my mind, but this is our team for now. I do want to thank you all for watching. Remember, if you like the video, leave a comment if you want to see any other games on the channel, or if you have anything you want to tell me I missed, or anything really. I think that's about it. Hope you all enjoyed, and have a good one.